The moment felt like standing at the edge of a cliff, wind roaring in my ears, the ground beneath my feet already giving up on me. Everything I had worked for, every silent sacrifice, every swallowed word was balanced on that single second. Fear tightened around my chest, shame burned behind my eyes, and yet something stronger than survival instinct pulled me forward. I knew that once I moved, there would be no turning back. Some moments are not meant to be survived carefully. They are meant to be lived honestly, even if they ruin you. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the idea that even broken moments can turn into something meaningful, take a second right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the Kindness Chronicles, because stories like this are not just entertainment, they are reminders of who we can be. I had spent years learning how to become invisible. Not literally, of course, but emotionally. At work, invisibility kept you safe. It kept you from being noticed when mistakes happened, from becoming a target when budgets tightened or egos flared. I learned to lower my voice, to keep my head down, to nod even when something felt deeply wrong. I worked longer hours than anyone else, took calls at midnight, and solved problems that no one else wanted to touch. My reward was silence. My name never appeared in praise emails. My presence was acknowledged only when something went wrong. She was the opposite of invisible. She entered rooms like a storm with purpose, sharp heels clicking like a countdown. Everyone straightened when she passed, conversations dying mid-sentence. She had earned her position the hard way in a world that punished softness, and she wore her authority like armor. To most people, she was cold, impossible, terrifying. To me, she was also lonely, even if she never showed it. You could sense it in the way she stayed late long after everyone left, in the way her office lights burned while the rest of the floor went dark. I didn't fall for her suddenly. It happened slowly, quietly, the way water wears down stone. It was in the moments no one noticed. The nights we worked on the same impossible deadlines, surrounded by empty coffee cups and flickering screens. The way her shoulders tensed when pressure mounted, and how she relaxed just a fraction when a problem was solved. I saw her exhaustion, her fear of failure, her need to be perfect in a world that waited eagerly for her to stumble. But love, especially the unspoken kind, is dangerous at work. It's unprofessional, unwanted, and usually one-sided. I told myself it was just admiration, just respect. I told myself to bury it deeper every day. Yet the heart has a way of ignoring instructions, and mine refused to stay silent. The breaking point came on a day that already felt cursed. A major deal collapsed because of a decision she made, and the board was furious. Pressure poured down the hierarchy like acid rain, and by the time it reached me, it burned. She needed someone to blame, and I was standing too close. The room was tense, air thick with frustration and anger. I had tried to explain, calmly, carefully, that the failure wasn't hers alone, that there were factors beyond our control. But fear makes people deaf, and power makes them cruel. Her voice rose, sharp and final, warning me to stop, to stay where I was, to know my place. In that moment, something inside me snapped, not in anger, but in clarity. I realized I had been living my life one step behind myself, always holding back, always choosing safety over truth. I saw my future clearly, years of silence, regret, and wondering what might have happened if I had been brave just once. So I stepped forward. It wasn't planned. It wasn't logical. It was a surrender to everything I had been holding inside. I closed the distance between us and kissed her, not with force or desperation, but with honesty. It was a kiss full of apology and confession, gratitude and goodbye all at once. In that single act, I accepted every possible consequence. The world seemed to stop. Time stretched thin, fragile as glass. I pulled back knowing I had crossed an unforgivable line. I expected rage, humiliation, immediate dismissal. Instead, I saw something else flicker across her face: shock, yes, but also pain, recognition, and something dangerously close to relief. What followed was not a fairy tale. There was no instant forgiveness, no sweeping romance. There were consequences. I was suspended pending review. Rumors spread like wildfire, twisting the moment into something ugly. I questioned everything about myself, replaying that second over and over, wondering if I had destroyed not only my career but hers as well. Days turned into weeks of silence. Then came the meeting. No shouting. No accusations. Just truth laid bare. She spoke. Not as my boss, but as a human being who had been carrying unbearable weight for too long. She admitted how alone she felt, how the pressure had hardened her, how my quiet loyalty had been one of the few steady things in her life. She also made it clear that boundaries had been crossed and trust damaged. We both stepped away. Different departments. Different paths. I left the company soon after, choosing dignity over comfort. It hurt more than I expected, but it also felt like breathing after years underwater. Life didn't magically improve. I struggled financially. I doubted myself constantly. But something had changed. I spoke more honestly. I stopped shrinking. I treated people with more kindness because I knew how much unseen battles mattered. Months later, I received a message. Not professional. Not formal. Just human. She thanked me. Not for the kiss, but for reminding her she was still a person beneath the title. She had started therapy. She had learned to lead with less fear. She wished me peace. That was enough. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is risk everything for a moment of truth. Not because it guarantees happiness, but because it frees you from living half a life. That kiss didn't give me love, but it gave me myself. And if this story touched your heart, if it reminded you of a moment you were too afraid to take, or one you're standing on right now, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the Kindness Chronicles. Your support helps these stories reach people who need them most. Before this video ends, I have one special request: comment a single line below, a word, a feeling, or a truth you've been holding back. Let this space be a place where courage and kindness meet.